Welcome back to Demo Dive, where I talk shop about a few demos I have been hyperfixated on recently. Today, we got a little bit for everyone. We got some tactics, we got some shooters, we even got a zombie game. So why don't we start off with the murder mystery fishing one. About Fishing is a fishing game set in Silent Hill. That sentence alone is both a crude oversimplification and an accurate tonal description. Yes, it might be the right words in the correct order to sell copies, but there's more to About Fishing than its aesthetic bipartite. It's true, About Fishing's world may be reminiscent of that foggy town, but it's also a home. You're not running from monsters, you're listening to the earth. The water calls your name, and the fish have a story to tell. Despite the strange personalities and eccentric going-ons, it's your hometown. The same hometown that saw the disappearance of two girls. And the same hometown where you find yourself with a curse and a destiny to fulfill. A lot of what I just said may be misconstrued as hyperbole, a simple over-exaggeration, but not really. The introduction of this demo has you play as a little girl fishing alongside your grandfather, and while they are certainly particular, I think the world they inhabit requires such strangeness. There is never a doubt that both you and your grandfather are a product of this environment. After catching a few fish with the promise of some curly fries for your trouble, you find yourself being able to not only catch fish, but control them under the waves. With this ability, you navigate down a series of tunnels only to discover a corpse of a recently deceased girl. The way this game controls is just as large a draw as its world. When casting your line, the mouse is used as a physical proxy for your virtual fishing rod. You can choose how to cast your line, underhand, overhand, really anything in between, but also control your hook as it flies through the air. While a fish is hooked on, the WASD keys will pick the direction your rod leans towards, all while your mouse tries to angle the fish towards your desired location. Sometimes this can have some comedic effects, but this all fits around and between the narrative through line. You have been chosen. And your ability to catch fish is the red thread that ties your ability to trust them and control them. Just as your grandpa instructs you, look for a fish that you trust, or a fish that trusts you. Using the yellow tang in your tackle box, not only do you uncover the corpse, you bring it ashore. About Fishing has one of the longest narrative demos I've ever seen. As we time skip forward, we see the girl return home to finish what she unknowingly started long ago. Remember, there were two girls missing, and you have only found one. We awake on a floor-bound mattress, fishing rod in hand. All we know is that our grandfather is below the church. We also find that now our tackle box doubles as a classic Pepe Silvia board. Entering the church, it seems our dear old grandparent has not kicked the bucket and is instead in prison. Below the church. Your questions only grow in magnitude as we come to find that our grandfather is imprisoned for our deeds. According to the official story, he was the one who hauled the body ashore, and in an attempt to protect us, took the fall. The fall for what exactly, we don't know. All he asks of us is to once again fish up the girl we uncovered all those years ago. As it turns out, her grave has slipped into the waters outside the church. From this moment onwards, we work towards completing that goal. We learn to fillet fish, sell what we can, purchase upgrades. More line, more weights, more lures. It's all in service to new experiences, new creatures to collect, or even puzzles to solve. About Fishing's demo still has many secrets to discover, and you'll need all your tools. Not only that, this demo has seen updates since my first playthrough earlier last month. Never before has such a demo shown such confidence with its material. The Water Museum is certainly not shy about showing their hand, and it's really easy to understand why. The ethereal quality of its world, mixed with the quirkiness of its characters, only makes me want to spend more time with it. If any of this looks interesting, I promise you a downright religious experience playing through it. So thank you again to all those who worked so hard on this one. Happy fishing. Okay, this one's a little fucking crazy. Full disclosure, this game's already out. You can go buy it right now. But it's my video, and I want to talk about it. Death in Abyss is a game your friend describes to you as a fever dream. In a word, it's kinetic. In a couple more words, Death in Abyss is really fucking hard and extremely fucking fun. You are stranded in space. Checkpoints are separated by waves of increasingly hostile enemies. Hostile, in a way a thermonuclear bomb is hostile to the local elementary school. You have enemies that shoot you, hone in on you, increase the darkness of your surroundings, or even try to taste you. In games like this, one type of enemy is usually fine, and the difficulty becomes in dealing with multiple types at once. I can confidently say that is not the case here. Even with one type at a time, this game proves challenging. So, what's the appeal? Low, poly, very difficult, omnidirectional shooter seems like quite the niche. It is, but this game also has so much sauce. Your boost is chaotic, the guns are non-stop, and every moment feels like you're in control, but just barely. Your dodge is generous and necessary for staying alive. You can use it frequently, you should use it frequently, but it also increases your heat. Fill that bar all the way up and you start to take some damage. You have recharging homing missiles akin to the first couple Panzer Dragoon games, and that's mostly it. There's not much more to this one that I can say. Go play it. The demo gets a ton of use out of a pretty generic gameplay loop, besides a very fun boss at the end of the section. It's hard to say anything particularly bad about Death in Abyss. It knows exactly what it wants to be, and if that's your cup of tea, you're gonna love it. Milo. Simple title, ambitious goals. Milo is very unapologetically a love letter to early Call of Duty Zombies. Or at least that's what's being said by its lead and only developer. Early COD Zombies exploded in popularity for a multitude of societal reasons, but for now, let's take a look at why its gameplay worked so well. Between the wonder weapons, the Easter eggs, co-op modes, and map variety, at its core, Call of Duty Zombies promised you one thing that was extremely fundamental. If you hit replay, you have the chance to do better. You will have the chance to find the weapons you need, the chance to unlock doors faster, and, in all, play more efficiently than before. Initially, I had a lot of positive and negative things to say towards Milo's demo, and just as I confidently put down my metaphorical pen, a discussion post caught my eye. Why is there a separate public demo? Hidden behind a not-so-secret code? Why isn't this just the default demo available on Steam? Questions I unfortunately do not have the answers to. Well, there's not much to do but toss my old script in the waste bin and start again. So let's take a look at Milo's public beta. Milo's beta is more akin to a custom hardcore zombies map where space is at a premium and weapons are few and ordinary. It's a poor showing of COD Zombies' inspired promise, but it is a strong showing of Milo's sturdy foundations. The guns are all visceral and have their own identity. You have the distinctive ping of the stripper clip-loaded M1 Grand clone and the guttural blast of its shotgun. The UI is fun, colorful, and functional. At a glance, you see all the most important information, and boy is there a lot more to take in than the typical Zombies game. Primary, secondary, grenade, cream blast? I'm not calling it that. Taking out the corpse explosion and rat food was a necessary choice in narrowing the experience, but even so, what's on display here is certainly unique. We deviate with a contextual ability, something that pre-Black Ops 3 never really utilized in such a way. It's true that Tombstone could have been used to get all the perks in a map, or you may have the choice to electrify yourself in Mob of the Dead, but never has such a crucial choice been tied to a native player action. Cream Blast. It's less of a shakeup and more akin to a nuke with extra steps. What deviates is how you get it and why it's used. You build up cream over the course of killing zombies until it's full, at which point you can unleash your Kamehameha blast whenever the hell you want. This ability is a resource that enables the player to have more control over the round's tempo. A nuke may drop in a good or bad moment, but it's you who decides when to use this. Just like in COD, there's a chance that killing a zombie drops a power-up. Now, this is something that Milo does take the chance to expand on. Throughout the entirety of classic Zombies, the power-ups on display, though game-changing in the moment, never have been greatly iterated upon. Here, we see not only infinite ammo, but also bottomless clip, unlimited cream, or even a replacement to your current weapon. So, if it was just a couple things above, I can see why someone would advocate that this is just like the classic zombies, with a twist. But we're not quite done yet. The two things that make Milo so interesting to talk about is its safe room, and the permanent power-ups, cause holy shit, this isn't zombies. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't fucking know, but it's not the same. I could probably talk for a stupid amount of time about all these aspects and how they interact, but considering this is a demo dive and not a demo waterboarding, I'll keep it short. The safe room is the room that opens up between rounds that allows the player to take as much time as they need. Catch your breath, enjoy a sip of Mountain Dew, and plan for the next round. There's also a slot machine here, which you exchange tickets for permanent power-ups. And, they stack. Both these aspects have the chance to flourish into their own fully developed mechanics, and I'm excited to see how both of these stack up in the final build. I could rag on about the unnecessary basketball component, or the bugs, or the fact that I crashed at round 26. Oddly enough, I'm partially thankful that this slice feels like an evolution or a complete change, rather than a simple retreading. I could live with another Kino der Toten, but I want whatever this turns out to be. Entropy is an amazing demo developed by an incredible team. The same team that made my favorite game a couple years back, Dread Delusion. If I'm being honest, I'm biased, but I'm only human, by which I mean my proclivities are surprisingly represented here. We start the game completely hungover. Your choice to remember yourself and career shape the beginnings of your character, man, woman, or Amen, courage, agility, or grit, swords, bow, or spellbook. It's all excellently done, completely under the guise of an ongoing stage play. It's pretty funny and most importantly an entertaining way to ease the audience into the world. Cause as they say, and as you will soon find out, the world's a stage. Off rip, you will notice the writing in Dread XP's games are always head and shoulders above the rest. Talking with wounded knights or grizzled veterans always yields something more than a simple exchange of words. Sometimes there's a tension beneath the surface. Sometimes they just lie. Not for some grand revealing plot, which is all too common, but simply because you're a stranger in a strange land. Getting back on track, chronologically, our play is rudely interrupted by some invading demons. We wrangle together a squad, get sufficiently geared up, and promptly get our asses handed to us. So, basics of combat. You see, I'm not much of a tactics player, and while I've dabbled in most game genres, tactic games have been the exception. So some of you might see this as a baby mode, I certainly did not. Alright, you have two rows, front and back. Certain moves can only be used in specific rows, while certain attacks can only hit certain rows. Ranged in the back, sword and board out in front. So while a character may have magic spells and a rusted knife, you'll have to make the conscious decision to either move them beforehand or during the battle to use both. On top of which, there are status effects, armor, items, and skills for every weapon, all in service to make each encounter feel unique and dangerous. But wait, there's more. Each and every possible decision you will make will have to be rolled for. And damn, there's something about seeing your dice roll crit that just gets me going every time. As we die to the demons, we are revived by some mysterious force. Is it a god? We may never know. What we do know is that some time has passed. Everyone's dead. Nice. We procure the traveling troop journal, which serves as our UI for the game, and make our way through the town filled with monsters. Short story shorter, we eventually escape the town, a mage in tow and a formidable foe slain. I'm not going to recap the story of this demo, that's not really what this is. You will play this. What I would like to highlight is what keeps things fresh. As we move out to the world beyond, our scale changes. Again, we are reminded that thematically, we're nothing but players on a stage. This reinforcement definitely helps the spatial dissonance when traveling through the open world. Upon nearing a point of interest, we once again refocus to our normal play condition. Most notably are the times we don't. Certain POIs completely transition to a short but visceral text-based adventure, where certain choices result in admittedly similar outcomes. What allows this to stand tall is, again, the writing. How would you navigate the realm of the dead? What would you ask of a god? All these scenarios are so fun to see and grant some pretty gnarly upgrades. Finally, let's talk about the greatest part of this demo: budgeting. You have the ability to grab some serious party members pretty fast. You see, there's a mercenary board just in the first town. From here, you are free to spend all your gold on guys like Fausto, who, seems to be having a bad time. Yeah, suffering is definitely the word I'd use, but no one's perfect. There's just one thing to keep in mind. Each party member takes a fee for each battle you complete. The more skilled the warrior is initially, the more he costs. And you don't want to find yourself lost, broke, and with no one to turn to. Eventually, you help warn the neighboring towns of the demon invasion and navigate your way through Notheg's forest. The environment here leans into some soft puzzles, some new status effects, and a boss fight against a soul angel and their soldiers. Again, Entropy can have me going on and on about it. I'm sure I will when it releases later next month, but for now, I eagerly await. So thanks for letting me riff for a bit about some cool demos I've been into. There's still a ton more in the pipeline. There is a never-ending source of games. So, again, you can support me at most of the usual links, and if you like what I do, consider hitting subscribe. If you have a demo you want me to play, or a demo you suggest, or one that would really rip my hair out, put it in the comments. I'm sure I'll look at some of them. Thank you, and take care.